Let's play around with a feature in TinkerCAD called Codeblocks, which is kind of a combination of 3D design and coding. And those of you that did Scratch in 6th grade, the layout and the way it works is going to look probably pretty familiar to you. So in your design area, click on New and choose Codeblocks. And that's going to open up a window here. It's basically 3 areas. You have the shapes and selections here on the left. This middle area is where you're going to put your code, and then you're going to see what it looks like over here in the TinkerCAD work plane. So on your Chromebook, it's probably a tight fit, so you can adjust the size of these windows here a little bit as needed to make it work for you. So let's start with a real simple design. We're going to make a little snowflake here. So over on the left-hand side here, go where it says Math and drag out a Create Variable. We're going to rename this, and we're going to call it Rotation Degrees. And click OK. And then let's bring out a repeat block here, and we're going to repeat this 12 times for our first example here. And then you're going to play around with this a little bit to see what you can get it to do. Then we're going to add the torus shape. It looks kind of like a donut. It's kind of aqua colored here. Now this shape, you'll notice it has a little flyout arrow here. We're going to click that, and we're going to change some of these values. And when you get to play around with this on your own, you're going to play around with this is a good place to see how these change your shape. So we're going to change the radius to 35. We're going to change 24 for sides to 6. For tube, we're just going to make it 2. And for steps, we're going to do, I believe we're going to leave it at 16. And again, it's hard to explain what all of these do, but if you start playing around with them, it'll be easier to understand that way. All right, then go to your Modify category. And again, you should notice how this looks pretty similar to Scratch. Bring out a Move block and put it under the Add Torus. We're going to leave X at 0. We're going to change Y to 45 and leave Z at 0. Going back to the Modify area, find Rotate. Bring that out. So we're going to change Rotate around axis X to axis Z. Then we're going to go over to our data area, and we made a variable called rotation degrees, so we should be able to pick it right here. And we're going to put that instead of 90 right there. And then in the green math area, grab the XYZ block and put that after pivot, and we're going to leave that at 0, 0, 0, which is basically going to just rotate right around the center axis. And then finally, bring out a change block, and we're going to change rotation degrees by 30. Now, the 30 here and the 12 at the top are not an accident. You might remember in 6th grade we talked about 360 being the magic number to complete a shape. That's the case here. So if you do end up playing around with the 12 and the 30, make sure whatever numbers you put there equal 360. And then let's go ahead and run it. And what we should see happening is the code is repeating 12 times, and it's going to make kind of a hexagonal, I don't know the word, but it's going to look like a snowflake. And again, while that's happening, you can pan around by holding the right mouse button down and see what's happening. So the code is repeating 12 times and finishing off right here will be the last one. So there you go. There's like a cool little snowflake made by using the power of code. At this point, feel free to play around with these values. Again, what happens if you change color, change the repeating, change the degrees. Remember, make sure these equal 360, so to make a complete snowflake. Feel free to play around with anything else and see what you can come up with. Once you've played around with this and tried a few different variations and you found something you really enjoyed, what I want you to do is click on Share. That's going to bring this area up here, and you're going to click on Screenshot. That's going to save the screenshot to your computer just like we've done in other ways. And this is what I want you to upload. One of the things you're going to upload into the assignment in Google Classroom. Please make sure, though, don't do the basic one here. Play around with it for a little while and see what cool things you can come up with. Don't be afraid to experiment. You can always go back to what you had right there. All right, good luck.